Unexpected heartwarming plea. Black boy. 8. Touches millionaire's heart to save his sick sister. Jamal's heart piped like a drum as he looked at the towering figure of Mr. Thompson at the block party. All around, the vibrant energy of laughter, children playing, and neighbors chatting created a warm buzz. But Jamal felt the chill of anxiety wrapping around him like a heavy blanket. His sister, Mia, was his sunshine, and right now, that light was flickering. She was battling a sickness that needed expensive treatments their single mother couldn't afford, no matter how hard she worked. Tears pushed at the corners of Jamal's eyes as he thought of the countless doctor's visits and the weight each medical bill added to their already heavy hearts. Everyone in the neighborhood had come together to help. Mrs. Johnson brought over spicy gumbo, Mr. Lee baked his famous peanut butter cookies, and kids organized a bake sale, but none of it seemed to ease the knot in Jamal's stomach. He needed to do more. He felt a pull to save Mia. Love surged in his chest, and he decided right then, right there, he had to tell Mr. Thompson about Mia. Drawing in a breath, he stepped forward, the crowd parting like the Red Sea for a small boy with a big mission. Jamal's legs trembled as he stood in front of the man everyone idolized, a millionaire who lived in a shiny mansion and drove a sleek car. Mr. Thompson? Jamal's small voice broke through the chatter. Hope flickered inside him, but the shadow of doubt loomed large. What is it, kid? Mr. Thompson's voice was gruff, distant, as if he held the world's burdens on his shoulders. Jamal's heart raced faster. Today, I want to tell you about my sister Mia. She's sick. I mean really sick. She needs help, he stammered, gripping his small, sweaty hands into fists. Mom works so hard, but we just need, but as he finished, he saw Mr. Thompson's gaze shift. Disdain flashed like lightning in his eyes, and Jamal felt the air thicken around him. I'm busy, kid, Mr. Thompson replied, turning away, dismissing him as he would a fly. The weight of disappointment crashed down on Jamal's shoulders, making him feel smaller than ever. Wait, Jamal cried out, voice cracking. Anger spilled into his cheeks while the crowd's murmurs faded. Why wouldn't he care? Didn't he see how brave Mia was? Jamal felt burning tears, an ember of injustice turning to flame in his chest. Just as despair loomed, a glimmer of determination sparked within him. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Fueled with resolve, Jamal plotted a plan. He envisioned a basketball game, his neighborhood kids against Mr. Thompson's employees. Surely, the shared joy of the game would break the ice. It might even make the millionaire see their community differently. But as he practiced his shot in the dim evening light, shadows lined his heart. Mia's condition worsened by the day. Did he even have enough time? Was hope ferrying him to a dead end? With hope for change swirling like a whirlwind, the countdown to the game began. Little did Jamal know, that day would become pivotal not just for his sister, but for the entire neighborhood's fight against indifference. Would Mr. Thompson choose to open his heart, or would he remain blind to the desperate pleas echoing in the streets of Detroit? The day of the game arrived, bright and sunny, infusing the block party with an electric energy. Jamal's stomach churned with a mix of excitement and nerves. He saw kids from the neighborhood gathering by the basketball court, laughing and teasing one another, their joy palpable. But his mind was solely on Mia. He had rallied the kids, and surprisingly, they all came together, their eyes shining with hope. Jamal felt like the captain of a ship, steering his crew into uncharted waters. This is it, he thought, feeling the weight of the moment. Today was about more than just basketball. It was about proving that they were worth noticing, that their struggles mattered. As the sun climbed higher, Mr. Thompson's employees started to trickle in. They wore polished shoes and crisp uniforms, looking like they had just stepped out of a magazine. Jamal felt a constricting sense of inadequacy wash over him. Did they know how hard the community fought just to breathe? Let us show them what we've got, Jamal shouted to his friends, inhaling courage. When the whistle blew and the game began, everything faded into the background. The clatter of the ball, the shouts of encouragement from friends, and the rhythm of sneakers squeaking on the court created a symphony of unity. Jamal played with everything he had. He dribbled, shot, and passed with desperate energy. But he stole glances at Mr. Thompson, who stood off to the side, arms crossed, a skeptical look on his face. Jamal could feel the weight of expectation pressing down on him, a feeling that this game wasn't just a game at all. With the score tied and time dwindling, Jamal made a bold decision. He called for the ball. "Pass it," he yelled, his eyes flashing with determination. The moment felt monumental, a heartbeat in time where he could either rise or fall. As the ball hit his hands, doubt swirled. What if he missed? What if Mr. Thompson saw him as just a kid wasting his shot? In that instant, Jamal remembered Mia's smile, the way she laughed even through pain. He took a deep breath, focused, and shot. The ball sailed through the air, a beautiful arc against the blue sky, as if time slowed to watch every detail unfold. The world held its breath for a heartbeat before the swish of the net silenced all. Jamal's heart soared. Cheers erupted from his friends, but Jamal's eyes were drawn to Mr. Thompson. The man had uncrossed his arms. Was there a flicker of surprise in his eyes? For a moment, it seemed as though he was no longer just an indifferent millionaire detached from the neighborhood. "Keep going, Jamal," someone shouted, and the game continued. But Jamal remained anchored to that moment. The small win wasn't just about scoring points. It was a chance to make his sister's story heard. The game ended, but the competition morphed into a celebration. Parents and kids alike gathered, sharing food, laughter, and stories. An invisible tie pulled the community together. Yet, Jamal's heart still tugged with uncertainty. He needed to get to Mr. Thompson. This wasn't over. As he approached, trepidation danced in his chest. "Mr. Thompson," he called out, drawing the man's attention. The crowd faded, the joy mingling with tension. "I want you to meet my sister," he said, voice firm yet small. "She's the one who inspires me, and she needs help. Can you see that?" Jamal stood there, warmth weaving through his fears, wondering if this was the moment that would change everything. Would Mr. Thompson finally drop the wall, or would he just walk away again? Mr. Thompson's gaze shifted, piercing through the noise of the celebration, and Jamal felt the weight of the moment crush him for a second. The laughter and music around them faded, turning into a dull hum as he stood before the man who held his family's fate in his hands. "Your sister?" Mr. Thompson asked, a mixture of curiosity and skepticism in his voice. Jamal nodded, his heart thumping so loudly he feared everyone could hear it. He wanted to tell him everything: the late nights spent bringing Mia soup, the worry that danced in their mother's eyes, the shattered hopes that weighed heavy on their shoulders. But all that came out was a shaky breath. "She's sick, and she needs help," he managed, locking eyes with the millionaire. Those brown eyes were deep, unreadable. Jamal swallowed hard, praying to find the words. I don't want her to suffer. I just want you to meet her." For a moment, the world felt impossibly still. Mr. Thompson's skeptical expression melted into something softer, but just as quickly, his guarded demeanor returned. "And why should I care?" he asked bluntly, tilting his head as if studying Jamal like an equation that hadn't added up. "Because she's more than just a story," Jamal replied, his voice raw with emotion. "She's my sister. She smiles, even when it hurts. And she's always believing in us. In me." Behind Jamal, laughter erupted. A group of kids was playing, momentarily suspended in happiness. Their joy sliced through the tension between him and Mr. Thompson, giving Jamal the courage to continue. "You saw the game. We aren't just kids. We're family. We fight for each other because sometimes that's all we have." Mr. Thompson shifted weight from one foot to the other, eyes flickering as if caught between worlds, a world of polished shoes and boardrooms contrasted by the raw, gritty reality of the street behind him. Jamal could almost see the gears turning in his mind. "I can't just throw money at every sob story," he finally replied, his voice cooler. But Jamal's heart sank at the reminder of the familiar walls built by those who had always looked past them. "Please," Jamal whispered, desperation creeping into his tone. "This isn't just a sob story. This is about life, her life." Mr. Thompson hesitated, his resolve wavering. Jamal pushed on. "You talk about investing in the community. Then invest in her. One person can make a difference. Just ask anyone here how we all come together for each other. All the colors of the block party swirled around them, vibrant and loud, like the life Jamal was fighting for. It was overwhelming. I know you can help, he pleaded, feeling smaller than ever. She's worth it. Jamal's heart raced. Had he crossed a line? Would Thompson walk away? The silence loomed, thick and heavy. And then, something in Mr. Thompson's demeanor shifted, eyes softening just a fraction as if he heard something that mattered. Finally, he took a deep breath, looking off into the distance. Show me where she is, he said quietly. Jamal's heart surged with hope, the knot in his chest slowly loosening. Really? He asked, eyes wide. Let us see if this investment is worth my time, Mr. Thompson replied, an air of determination weaving through his words as they began to walk toward the gathering crowd. Jamal had a feeling that maybe, just maybe, change was in the air. Yet as they moved forward, uncertainty clung to him like a second skin. Would this meeting reveal a path forward, or would it only lead to more closed doors? He pushed the doubts aside, for now, focusing on the steps ahead, one foot in front of the other, toward the hope that flickered in the distance. But Mia, did she know something that he didn't? Would she see the change he hoped for? In that moment, just as they reached the edge of the party, a chilling thought struck him like a thunderclap. What if Mr. Thompson was still just a millionaire, peering through his fogged glass, unable to grasp the warmth of their world? As Jamal and Mr. Thompson pushed through the throng of people, the vibrant atmosphere enveloped them. The laughter of children, the smell of grilled food wafting through the air, and the upbeat rhythm of music surrounded them like a warm embrace. Yet, Jamal's heart beat like a drum, each pulse reminding him of the stakes at play. He glanced sideways at the man beside him, seeking any signs of hesitation or regret. Instead, Mr. Thompson seemed focused, brows furrowed and mouth set in a grim line. Jamal's stomach twisted. What if this was a mistake? Could he be setting Mia up for disappointment? Mia lives just down the block, Jamal said, his voice barely above a whisper, as they approached his home. She used to be full of energy. Emotion thickened his throat, and he felt the tightness again. But the last few months, things have been tough. Mr. Thompson listened quietly, his sharp gaze scanning the surroundings. Jamal watched as they passed the vibrant front porches, colorful murals, and the laughter of neighbors enjoying the day. Each step brought them closer to Mia, yet the fear of what Mr. Thompson would find swirled in the back of his mind. As they reached his front door, Jamal hesitated. What if Mr. Thompson saw their small, cramped space and turned away? What if he couldn't see the love that filled the walls, the warmth of his family that was hardly visible under the surface? For a split second, he wanted to turn back, to shield Mia from the harsh realities that might turn this moment sour. Are you ready? Mr. Thompson broke the silence, his voice low and steady. Jamal nodded slowly. Just give her a chance. With a deep breath, Jamal opened the door, revealing the modest living room inside. The sunlight filtered through the curtains, illuminating pictures of happier days, Mia grinning at a birthday party, Jamal with his arm around her during a school event. Despite the clutter and worn furniture, there was a sense of home. Mia? He called out softly, feeling a twinge of hope flutter within him. There was no immediate response, adding to the tension that lined the air. After a few moments, the sound of shuffling feet echoed from the back, and Mia appeared. Her frail form was draped in a soft blanket, but her bright eyes sparkled when she caught sight of him. A smile broke through her pale complexion, one that still held the innocence of childhood. Jamal, she exclaimed, her voice filled with warmth. Then her gaze shifted to Mr. Thompson, curiosity battling with caution. Who is that? This is Mr. Thompson, Jamal replied, signaling for him to step forward. He wants to meet you. Mr. Thompson seemed momentarily taken aback by the girl's vibrancy. As he kneeled to her level, Jamal held his breath, watching the interaction unfold. He could see the wheels turning in Mr. Thompson's mind. A man used to control and power now facing something entirely different. Hi, Mia, Mr. Thompson finally said, his voice softening. It's nice to meet you. Mia flashed her trademark smile, the one that always made Jamal feel a spark of joy even on the hardest days. You're here because of Jamal? Yes, Mr. Thompson nodded, his gaze steady. He has told me a bit about you. As their conversation progressed, Jamal felt himself relax a little, hopeful that maybe this intense meeting could blossom into something real. He watched the two communicate Mia's easy laughter and Mr. Thompson's gradual unbending rigidity. Jamal believes you are worth a lot more than just stories, Mr. Thompson said. A glimmer of something different in his expression that Jamal hadn't seen before. Could it be empathy? But just as Jamal felt that spark of connection, Mia coughed lightly, a reminder of the ongoing struggle they all faced. The joy in the room faltered, replaced by the weight of reality. "Are you okay, Mia?" Jamal asked, concern flooding his voice. "I'm fine," she said quickly, her smile still firmly in place, but her eyes told a different story. "Maybe it's time we start finding a solution," Mr. Thompson said, the gravity of his words hanging in the air. "What exactly does Mia need?" Jamal's heart raced, excitement mingled with fear. This was it. This was the moment that could change everything. But what if it wasn't enough? What if the challenge ahead was too great? Jamal's heart thundered in his chest, the weight of Mr. Thompson's question pressing down like a heavy blanket. He knew this was the crossroads, the moment that could shift everything for Mia. But as he opened his mouth to respond, the right words had trouble breaking free. "Mia," he hesitated, searching for clarity. "She needs more care. More than I can give her." Each word felt like a tightrope walk, teetering between hope and despair. Maybe some treatments? More visits to the doctor? Mia shifted in her blanket, looking at him with eyes that seemed to understand the unspoken worries swirling in the air. "I just want to feel better, Jamal," she said, her innocent plea piercing through the tension. Mr. Thompson's expression shifted, something wrapping his steely resolve in a cover of warmth. "What do you want, Mia?" If you could have anything, she bit her lip, contemplating her answer. "I want to play outside again, like I used to. I want to run around, see my friends at the park." Her voice wobbled slightly, but held a strength that brought tears to Jamal's eyes. That simple desire landed heavy in the room. To most kids, it would be nothing. To Mia, it was everything: the freedom of childhood, snatched away by circumstances that felt so unjust. "I can help with that," Mr. Thompson said carefully, as if the very idea was a fragile bird he was afraid to scare away. "I can arrange for some specialists, give you the care you need, but I need you to promise me something." Mia tilted her head, eyebrows knitted together. "What?" "I need you to fight. Fight like I know you can." Jamal felt a swell of gratitude for the man kneeling in front of his little sister, but it also brought an awkward flicker of fear. What would happen if Mr. Thompson couldn't deliver? What if all these words fell through, leaving Mia with more disappointment? "Will you do that for me?" Mr. Thompson asked, his gaze steady and true. Mia nodded slowly. "I want to play again," she reiterated, the spark of hope igniting in her voice. "Then that settles it," Mr. Thompson replied, standing up straighter, the earlier ambiguity replaced by determination. "Let us make the calls. We'll figure this out together." Jamal's heart soared at the sincerity of it all. Maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of something remarkable. But a nagging doubt remained, whispering that the road ahead might be filled with roadblocks. As they moved to gather the necessary information, Jamal caught a glimpse of Mia's face, the way her eyes danced with a flicker of belief, sparks reigniting the embers of hope that had been fading. "Are you ready, Mia?" he asked, buoyed by her enthusiasm. "Ready," she chirped, and another laugh bubbled up, refreshing the air around them. The moment felt like a mountain being pushed aside in the face of their zest for a brighter tomorrow. Yet, deep down, Jamal was aware that big challenges were still on the horizon, the kind that could shake their fragile stability apart. As they dove into the logistics, the phone calls, and the follow-ups, Jamal found himself lingering on one thought. What would Mr. Thompson's real intentions be? Was this genuine, or was there more behind this newfound compassion? Before the conversations could settle, the doorbell rang, disrupting their flow. Jamal turned, a rush of dread washing over him. Who could that be? Mia's face paled slightly. What if it's bad news? Jamal felt his heart clench, but he took a deep breath, pulling himself together. "Let us find out." As he opened the door, he braced himself, steeling his nerves for whatever awaited them. What he saw next would change the course of their journey forever. Jamal opened the door slowly, his breath hitching as he prepared for the worst. But the sight before him caught him off guard. A delivery person stood there, holding a large bouquet of bright flowers and a colorful envelope. "Delivery for Mia," the cheerful stranger announced, a wide smile plastered across their face. Mia's eyes lit up. Flowers? For me? Her excitement washed over the room like sunlight breaking through a heavy cloud. Jamal felt a wave of relief. He stepped aside, opening the door wider. Yep, that's her. Just a second. The delivery person handed the bouquet to Mia, who grasped it with both hands, her face a mixture of awe and delight. The flowers sprawled out in a riot of colors, vivid yellows, soft pinks, and deep blues. They were beautiful, and the fragrance filled the air, sweet and uplifting. As Mia buried her face in the blooms, Jamal turned to the delivery person. Who sent them? The person tapped the card, now glistening in the sunlight. It's from Mr. Thompson. He wanted Mia to know he is thinking of her. Mia read the card aloud, her voice sing-songy. Get well soon, Mia. I believe in you. Mr. Thompson. A gleeful giggle escaped her lips, and she clutched the flowers tighter. Jamal's chest swelled with warmth. Maybe Mr. Thompson really was sincere. Maybe this man genuinely wanted to help. But even as hope flickered within him, the nagging doubt clawed at the edges of his mind. What did it truly mean to be thinking of someone in a world that often felt so cold? Mia's laughter broke through his worries. Can we put them in my room, Jamal? Please? Of course, he replied. Can't help but smile at her uncontainable joy. He took the flowers from her, careful not to squish any petals. Let us make your room the prettiest in the house. Together, they walked into her room, where sunlight streamed in, spilling golden light on the pale walls. Jamal set the bouquet down on her bedside table. Look, it's so pretty. Mia jumped up and down. It's going to help me get better. I just know it. Jamal nodded, feeling a sudden rush of determination. That's right. Every time you see them, remember you're stronger than you think. As they settled on her bed, the weight of the earlier conversation still lingered. Mia, he started, turning serious for a moment. Do you really believe you can fight? She looked at him, her small face so earnest. Yes, I'll play outside again. I promise. Her words lit up something deep within him. It was that very spirit, the stubborn, fighting spirit that could make the impossible possible. Just then, his phone buzzed, the screen lighting up with a message from Mr. Thompson. We need to talk. Jamal's heart sank. Could this be the conversation that would confirm his hopes or shatter them entirely? He stared at the message, his mind racing with questions. He took a deep breath, turning back to Mia, her smile radiant and unfiltered. Get ready, sis. We're making your dream come true. He didn't want to steal her joy, but knowing they had a serious discussion ahead made him feel heavy. Still, he chose hope over fear. Let us go call Mr. Thompson. What could he possibly want to talk about? With a flutter of uncertainty in his chest, he grabbed his phone. But as he dialed, little did they know that this conversation could alter the course of their lives forever. Now what? He wondered, anxiety welling up just as the phone began to ring. The ringing felt endless. Each tone seemed to echo in Jamal's head, pulsing alongside his anxious heartbeat. A knot twisted in his stomach, and he glanced at Mia, who was now hugging the bouquet close to her chest. Her face radiated innocent joy, a stark contrast to his swirling worries. Come on, Mr. Thompson, he mumbled under his breath. Answer already. Finally, a voice broke through the silence, deep and calm. Jamal? It's Mr. Thompson. Yeah, Jamal replied, trying to keep his voice steady. You texted. You said we need to talk. Right, Mr. Thompson responded. I believe it's important, and I hope I can explain how I can help Mia. Relief washed over Jamal. Maybe this conversation would be the lifeline they needed. Okay, what is going on? Mia deserves a chance to enjoy her childhood, to not be defined by her illness, Mr. Thompson said. There was sincerity in his voice that made Jamal's chest swell. I can support her care, but it goes beyond just financial help. I want her to succeed in life. Why do you care? Jamal blurted out, heart racing. I mean, really, why? There was a pause on the other end, then Mr. Thompson sighed. Because I lost my daughter, Jamal. I felt that pain. I see so much of her spirit in Mia. I want to make sure she has every chance to fight. Emotions surged through Jamal, raw and undeniable. He thought of all the nights spent worrying, wishing for help. But here was a man willing to step in. You mean it? Jamal's voice broke slightly. You'll really help? I will, Mr. Thompson assured him. But it's not just about money. I want to create a support system for both of you. Will you trust me? Jamal turned to Mia, who was still lost in her flower-filled world, blissfully unaware of the gravity of the conversation he was having. Could he really let someone into their lives? Was it safe? A tight knot of hope began to settle in his chest, battling the caution that had always been there. I don't know, Jamal finally said, hesitating. This is all so sudden. What if it doesn't work out? What if she gets hurt again? That's always a possibility, Mr. Thompson replied gently. But what if she could thrive? She is already fighting so hard. Imagine what she could do with the right support. Mia's laughter rang out in the room, completely carefree. It made Jamal's heart ache with pride. The thought of her thriving, playing outside like she dreamed, being a kid without shadows looming over her, wasn't that worth the risk? I'll think about it, Jamal said, finding a hint of resolve. Just don't make promises you can't keep. I would never, Mr. Thompson said firmly. I'll be here for both of you whatever it takes. They hung up, and Jamal felt a whirlwind of emotions crash over him. Hope, fear, excitement all tangling together. He turned back to Mia, who was swirling in her endless joy, oblivious to the weight hanging in the air. Mia, he said, crouching down to her level. Can you keep a secret? Her eyes sparkled, a mischievous grin forming. What kind of secret? What if I told you someone wants to help you chase your dreams? Do you think you're ready for that? Mia's smile dimmed slightly, but curiosity filled her gaze. What do you mean? Just think about it. Things might change for us, and they could get even better. In that moment, Jamal realized that the unknown wasn't as scary as it seemed. Together, they could face whatever came next. But could he truly trust Mr. Thompson, or was he setting them up for heartbreak? As they shared a moment of laughter and hope, Jamal couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something extraordinary or something unforeseen. The next morning felt different. The sunlight streamed through the kitchen window, spilling warmth onto the worn table where Jamal and Mia shared breakfast. There was a newfound energy in the air, a flicker of hope that hadn't been there before. Jamal couldn't ignore the buzz of possibilities that danced in his mind. You like pancakes, right? He asked, trying to match Mia's excited chatter about her flowers from the day before. They're my favorite, she exclaimed, her eyes wide and bright. As he flipped the pancakes, Jamal caught himself smiling, a genuine smile that felt like a comfort after too many sleepless nights. Mia's laughter rang through the house. It was music that filled every corner, pushing away the shadows that had been lurking. Fueled by Mr. Thompson's words from their conversation, Jamal felt a surge of determination. Today was not about fears or what-ifs. It was about possibilities, and Mia deserved every single one. After breakfast, Jamal cleared the table, thinking about how to approach the idea of Mr. Thompson's support with Mia. He found her sitting on the living room floor, surrounded by her crayons and a half-finished drawing. Mia, do you remember the man I talked to on the phone? Mr. Thompson? Yeah, the nice one. He nodded. He wants to help you, to make sure you can have fun and experience things just like any other kid. Would you like that? Her brow furrowed slightly as she processed his words. What does he want to do? Jamal took a breath, knowing the weight of his answer. He wants to help us, maybe even get you into activities, maybe dance classes, or art, or even swimming. Things you've always wanted to try. Mia's eyes sparkled again, wide with excitement bordering on disbelief. Do you think he really means it? Like really for me? I think he does. But it's your choice, Mia. We can meet him, and if you don't like him, we don't have to do anything. For a moment, they sat in silence. Mia's little wheels were turning. He could almost see them. I want to meet him. Daddy, what if he gets me a puppy? She burst out, her laughter bubbling up. Jamal chuckled, shaking his head. Let us take it one step at a time. Puppies are a lot of responsibility, you know? Fine, but puppies are worth it. His heart swelled, and he couldn't help but be swept away in her enthusiasm. It didn't matter that the future was uncertain. In this moment, Mia's joy was enough to carry him through. After cleaning up, Jamal felt a sense of urgency creeping in. How about we make a plan to meet Mr. Thompson soon? He is going to want to know what you think. Can I wear my favorite dress? Mia asked, her face lighting up again. Of course, he said, already imagining how she would look, twirling in her dress just like the children he had seen in the park, full of spirit and life. Later that afternoon, as they prepared for their walk to Mr. Thompson's office, Jamal's stomach tightened slightly. He still grappled with trust, but the excitement on Mia's face made it hard to hold on to his doubts. The air outside felt charged with possibility. As they approached the tall glass building, Jamal paused to take in the massive structure. This was real. There was a chance for something new. And with that came both hope and fear. They entered the lobby, and Jamal felt his heart race. What if this was all a mistake? What if Mr. Thompson wasn't who he seemed? But looking at Mia's hopeful expression, he pushed those thoughts aside. Here we go, he whispered to her, just before stepping into the elevator. What would happen when they met Mr. Thompson again? Would they really find what they were searching for? The doors opened, and as they stepped out, the weight of the moment pressed heavily around them. The unknown loomed ahead, and Jamal could only hope it would be more than just another letdown. As they stepped onto the polished floor of Mr. Thompson's office, the bustling world outside faded into a distant hum. Jamal looked around, taking in the sleek furniture and the soft murmur of voices. An air of authority lingered, but that wasn't what made his heart race. It was the thought of what might unfold in a matter of moments. Mia tugged at his hand, her eyes scanning the room with eager anticipation. Daddy, it looks fancy. Is he rich? Jamal chuckled softly, grateful for her innocence. I think that's one way to put it. He squeezed her hand for reassurance, feeling a knot of anxiety twisting in his chest. Suddenly, the door swung open, and Mr. Thompson stepped out, a broad smile lighting up his face. He was dressed in a crisp suit, exuding confidence and warmth, and for a brief second, Jamal felt his defenses lower. Mia, Jamal, I'm so glad you could make it. His voice was rich and welcoming, instantly breaking through the barriers of Jamal's worry. Hi. Mia beamed, her shyness dissipating as she took in Mr. Thompson's friendly demeanor. She twirled slightly in her favorite dress, showcasing the vibrant colors that made her feel like a princess. As they followed Mr. Thompson into his office, Jamal's heart raced once more. The grandeur of the space was impressive, with tall windows allowing sunlight to pour in, illuminating the room, filled with books and art. But it was when Mr. Thompson crouched down to meet Mia at eye level that the atmosphere shifted. So, Mia, he began, his gaze full of genuine interest. I hear you love to draw flowers. What is your favorite flower? Sunflowers. Because they're happy, she replied enthusiastically. That is a beautiful choice. Did you know they always turn towards the sun? Mr. Thompson smiled, and Jamal noticed the way Mia's face lit up at the compliment. For a moment, Jamal realized Mr. Thompson wasn't just a businessman. He was a person who genuinely cared. After exchanging pleasantries, they settled into chairs. The conversation flowed easily, making Jamal wonder if this was the breakthrough he had been seeking. Mr. Thompson shared stories of his youth, captivating Mia with tales of adventure and creativity. He spoke of community programs he had supported, sharing his belief in the power of uplifting children like Mia. As Mia listened, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm, Jamal felt layers of his apprehensions slowly unraveling. Hope flickered in his chest, igniting a quiet determination. But the moment took a profound turn when Mr. Thompson leaned forward, looking directly at Jamal. I want to help you both. I see so much potential here. But I need to hear from you, Jamal. What do you see for Mia? What dream do you think is worth chasing? A lump formed in Jamal's throat. It was such a simple question, yet it held the weight of their entire future. He had spent so long juggling both fear and uncertainty, never truly voicing what he desired for Mia. I just want her to have every chance to be happy, he admitted, his voice thick with emotion. Mr. Thompson sat in silence for a heartbeat, then nodded gravely. And what about you, Jamal? You deserve happiness too. Those words hung in the air, and Jamal's chest tightened. He hadn't thought of his own happiness in years. Tears pricked at the corners of his eyes. But he was determined to stay strong for Mia. This was a pivotal moment, one where vulnerability and strength danced together in a fragile balance. He took a deep breath, ready to unearth the dreams he had buried. What if this was their chance? What if they could redefine their future together, not just for Mia, but for Jamal too? He shifted in his seat, preparing to share more than he ever had before, and as he opened his mouth to speak, Mr. Thompson's phone rang, interrupting the moment. A frown crossed Mr. Thompson's face as he glanced at the screen. I'm so sorry, I need to take this. Can you both hang tight for a moment? Jamal nodded, and as Mr. Thompson stepped away, he turned to Mia, whose face mirrored his uncertainty. What would happen next? Would they seize this opportunity, or would it slip through their fingers like sand? As they sat in that heavy silence, A shared anticipation filled the space. What if this small pause led them to something unexpectedly transformative? What heartache or breakthrough awaited them when Mr. Thompson returned? Moments passed like hours as Jamal and Mia waited, the silence stretching taut between them. Jamal drummed his fingers on the arm of his chair, trying to shake off the nerves that wrapped around him. He glanced over at Mia, who was lost in thought, her fingers gently tracing the vibrant colors on her dress. How could someone so small hold so much hope in her heart? Mr. Thompson returned, and the smile faded just slightly when he saw the quiet tension in the room. "I apologize for that. Let us get back to where we left off," he said, settling back into his seat. Jamal took a deep breath, the moment pulling him back to the forefront. "You asked what I want for Mia," he started, his voice steady but soft. "I want her to feel free, to play without the fear of tomorrow. I want her to have a life outside these walls." A flicker of understanding danced in Mr. Thompson's expression. "What does that look like for you?" Jamal hesitated, each word a stepping stone he needed to cross. "It means she gets to be a kid. I want her to take art classes, maybe even be able to run again, dance, laugh, and go to the park without feeling tired." "The simple things," Mr. Thompson reiterated like an echo. "And what about you, Jamal? What do you want for your own happiness?" That question struck deep, reverberating into Jamal's memories. The dreams of his youth, the plans of becoming a writer, of traveling, of seeing the world. They blurred into the background, overshadowed by the responsibilities he shouldered. This is a pivotal moment," Mr. Thompson urged, sincerity shining brightly in his gaze. "There's no wrong answer. I want to help Mia, but—" Jamal paused, collecting himself. "I would love to get back to school. I want to actually chase my dreams too. Life isn't just about surviving, it's also about living." A moment of silence passed as everyone absorbed his words, the weight of unspoken aspirations filling the air thick. And in that silence, Jamal felt an overwhelming lightness. Was it possible that sharing these dreams would open the door to new beginnings? Mr. Thompson leaned back, rubbing his chin thoughtfully. "Thank you for sharing that with me," he said slowly. "I can help you. I believe in both of you. Let us put a plan into place. Together, we can create a path to support Mia's health, and also let you pursue your education." Mia's eyes lit up at the mention of support. "Really? He is going to help us, right, Jamal?" Her excitement was infectious, and suddenly, Jamal felt a rush of energy pushing away the worries that seconds ago seemed omnipotent. "Really," he confirmed, meeting Mr. Thompson's gaze, seeing the sincerity reflected back. "I can set up a scholarship for you," Mr. Thompson continued, excitement creeping into his voice. "And I'll arrange the best doctors for Mia. I want to ensure she is given every opportunity. This is just the beginning of our journey." Jamal shook his head, overcome with gratitude. For the first time in what felt like forever, there was a glimmer, a real chance to rewrite their story. They moved through each detail, visions gradually transforming into tangible plans that strangers could share and build upon. Mia's laughter mixed with Jamal's newfound courage, binding them closer together, suspending them in possibilities ripe with hope. As they left Mr. Thompson's office, stepping onto the sunlit street, Jamal couldn't help but glance at Mia's radiant smile. She was ready. Both of them were. They'd take on this journey hand in hand. "Can we get ice cream?" Mia chirped, pulling him out of his thoughts. "Absolutely, superstar," he laughed, feeling light on his feet. And in that moment, they weren't just moving forward, they were soaring. Jamal looked at her, the weight of doubt stilling, replaced by the hope of someone believing in them. "Mr. Thompson really cares, huh?" Mia asked, already skipping down the sidewalk. "Yeah, he really does," Jamal replied softly, the fire of determination igniting within him. And together, they stepped into a new world, one filled with dreams, laughter, and a future they could finally call their own. So the story of Jamal and Mia continues, a tapestry of hope woven through the fabric of their community. And as they worked day by day, it wasn't just about health, but about thriving together. To all of you reading this now, remember, growth isn't always evident right away, but sometimes it blossoms when you least expect it. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and transform lives. Hit that like button now to help fuel the algorithm and support the message of hope. Leave a comment with your reactions to this heartwarming ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this incredible transformation. Your support matters.